National Board Certification, I don't know what you've heard about it or you've not heard about it. I think it came about in the 1990s?
Yeah.
Did you say? Okay. I never found out about it until probably I was in my 24th year of teaching. And my husband actually challenged me to do this, and I'm like, why would I want to do this? Because you're probably sitting there going, why do I want to do this, right? But I will tell you why in just a second. But just if you look up there, if you look along the continuum of your practice, the important thing is that, you know, if you get a good start and you are constantly improving yourself and you're looking at best practices, this is a natural continuum of what you've been doing, okay? If you're going to conferences and you're taking classes and this is a natural process that you want to go through to do this, okay? So being nationally board certified, to me, made a huge difference in my career. Like I said, I was probably in my 24th year when I did this. And you've probably done a lot of professional development. Some of it you probably thought was great. Some of you probably thought, oh my gosh, how do I implement this person's idea in my class? And that's always, I think, the challenge. Sorry about that. That I think was always the challenge. I retired from the Easton School District, and we had a lot of professional development. Some of it was tremendous, but always the challenge is, how do I go back? How do I use this? When you look at the national board, can you flip to the next one?
Can you read that?
You are, I know, it's kind of small. I'll just hit the highlights on that. Okay, reasons to start, I'll hit the highlights. Sorry, it's small. National board is based on what you do in your classroom. Everything that your portfolio that you create is based on what you do in your classroom, okay? They're not asking you to go out and do research or anything else. It's you improving what you do, which I found so impactful in my teaching, okay? I'll come back to it. Reasons to certify, like I said, it's based on what you personally do. No better in service time or professional development than that. I do know where it says board certification opens doors. One of the benefits of having national board certification is that you can go to most other states, I don't know if it's all states.
It's identified as legal certification in 40 states. So
yeah.
You show your national board certification, and they'll automatically give you that state certification.
Right. So if you would happen to move or something would happen that would change what you are doing now. We have one of our facilitators that works with our group, came from Chicago. She was nationally board certified out there, moved to the Easton area with her husband. She's like, I gotta get back to work. She would never got a job in New Jersey. They're like, nationally board certified, we'll take you. She didn't have to do any other credentials for New Jersey. So that is a benefit also. Some of the districts have financial benefits beyond the fact that ESU is offering you 12
Well, we'll
credits.
get to that.
Okay.
But it really varies by contract. And I've talked to John, I've talked to Tina about this. It's not a real big thing. A lot of districts put in their contract that you get national board certification, you get a stipend of like, it ranges from, what's in the Easton, $2,450 now?
It was 2,500, now it's 1,000.
Now it's down to 1,000.
Yeah.
Bangor's 1,000. I'm trying to think of districts in the area. Western Wayne has more nationally board certified teachers than any other district, percentage-wise, in the nation. Western Wayne. And they had a whole separate column in their contract for nationally board certified teachers, with the whole range going down the column. So it varies. In Philadelphia, if you get national board teacher certification, you get $7,500 a year. For the license, which is 5 years. So it's something that we've talked about. I've talked about with John. I've talked about with Jared, sort of. So it's a new idea. It's not expensive when we look at the big picture. Because look how many years even if all 4 you got. The benefits of the district get out of getting the national board certification certainly not worth that much money.
Right.
Without question.
Can I just ask Jean, does it apply to us though? I don't think we have it in the contract.
No, we don't. Doesn't mean that, we couldn't think about it for the next contract.
Absolutely.
Right. This is what usually happens.
Right.
I think we just, in East Penn down in Mass, we met with a bunch of teachers like this 3 years ago. Now it's in their contract. Because the administrators saw the value of it immediately. And they said, well, we should encourage more to go into this. this. It's not the money that gets you through this, believe me. It's a transformational experience of you as a teacher, and that's what propels you through this whole process. But the money is useful in the beginning. In the sense of motivating you to think about it. So it's something that, I know your district well enough to know that they would certainly consider that in contract negotiations.
And what about the credits? Do you guys have unlimited
We'll go over
credits,
that.
or-
When we get to the SU
Okay.
part.
Okay, all right, because that's another big part of it too.
Right.
Okay, the national board, if you click to the next slide, the national board, their main focus is on these 5 core propositions. And when you look at them, they're probably things you think about every day when you play in your class. Okay, this isn't like earth-shattering rocket science. This is stuff that you do every single day. Teachers are committed to their students, committed to teaching them, committed to reaching out to the community, being a learning community. You probably do that every single day. So this isn't, like I said, this is just common sense kind of stuff that we know about in education, okay? So this is the main focus of what National Board is all about, okay? What you would do as a candidate is show this in your portfolio, show evidence of it, okay? And we'll get to that. Go ahead, go do the next one. The other thing about the other part of the National Board, they look at the architecture of accomplished teaching, okay? And if you look at this, it kind of spirals forward and it spirals back. And basically, my guess is if you're sitting here, you're already doing this. Because you're looking at what is appropriate to teach your students, then you teach your students, then you assess your students. Then you look at, okay, do I need to reteach that, or do they get it, can I move on? And that's what the architecture is all about. So when you go through this National Board process, it's just emphasizing that, okay? And you're gonna show evidence of that.
Well, that's the biggest part. You have to show evidence of
Right.
that actually taking place. Rather than just an intuitive analysis, you actually have to put it out on the table and say, this is evidence that this is actually happening.
So you mean like student work?
Yes.
All that
Yes.
stuff?
Yes.
Great,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Student
So
work,
it's like,
it can be videotapes of you teaching. It's tangible evidence of learning taking place. That's the bottom line for a lot of this.
Right.
And we teach you this when we teach at ESU in the beginning. You're too young to really understand, I think. And now that you've had a chance to do it, you don't have the time a lot of times to reflect on it that way. But this process sort of forces you to do that. And it stays with you. I can't tell you the number of teachers who say, I think about my national teacher certification process every day I teach. And it's that people like, well, you're retired now, but these are people who are long gone, did this years ago. It's still with them every day. So, if I sound like a zealot, and Lori is too, or else she won't be doing this when she's retired. We are. We really are, because we understand that this is some process that really benefits students and teachers.
Okay. There's 4 areas, 4 components they call it, that you would have to complete in order to do this National Board certification. So the first one they have up there is your content knowledge, and you would have to go to one of the testing centers to complete this. So that,
ATS one?
yeah,
Like we did our
exactly.
classes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some open-ended questions, and then there's some multiple choice questions, and it's all based on your certification, okay? So it's not, you want,
so what if you have more than one certification?
to do this process, you would need to choose what area you would want to be certified in.
And then that national board will carry for that area. So like if you're certified in a couple areas, you choose the one that you want.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
But
And
we
then-
just had a question about, administrator too. He was a teacher who started the process of getting national board certification, became a principal. And you can still continue to get the certification in that area. I don't know if you saw that.
The answer is yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's
The
gonna borrow
person
a
would
class.
just, you just borrow a classroom to get done, and you would do that. Yeah.
But we've had people switch quite a bit, which is another good example. I'm amazed at school districts like Allentown, who just had 5 people go through this process, 3-year process, and met together every other week. There's absolutely no financial incentive in Allentown to get this. But they were just totally committed to the idea. And they became very close as a group too, because it's the ideal professional learning community. Since you're doing everything with the same people, You really get to know them over 3 years or 2 years really well.
This is like a cohort that you travel with, like, I mean, not travel, but I mean.
You meet,
go steps with.
yes, you go through all the steps with, right.
You go through the steps with, and it's cross-discipline, and it's also on site. So it's not like you have to go to this, you that would be right here. So that's an advantage as well.
Yeah. The second component down there, one of the portfolio entries is a written entry. And that one is based on how you differentiate your instruction for your students. And in that one, you actually use assessments. You would choose like 2 students out of your class that you would choose to highlight. And you would document their assessments. And you would look at how you took them from here and you got them to here. So that's basically what that entry is about. Okay, and meeting their particular needs, their individual needs. And then the third portfolio is a videotape. And depending on your certification, some of them are 1 videotape, some are 2 videotapes, and they might be 10 minutes long. And it just shows you teaching, depending on what your certification is. So it's basically how you are practicing your teaching.
But the key part of that is also the written analysis.
Right.
But it's still 10 pages, right?
It might be 13, it might be 10 or 13
Right, on a 10-minute lesson.
now. Yeah,
No, everybody has to shorten.
Yeah, but it's not bad though.
yeah, no,
It's
I don't.
attainable.
Exactly,
But it's
exactly.
also
Yeah.
really useful.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the important part.
Right. And then the last part ties in how you effectively assess students, how you tap into other professionals within your area, how you work collaboratively with other people. So that's basically the fourth one. Okay. This is just an example of when we talk about standards for National Board, each certificate area has their own list of standards. It's not the Pennsylvania State standards. Okay, these are their own standards, but when you look at those, don't they make sense? They're probably stuff that you consider every single day in your teaching.
They look like the domains of,
Yeah.
the domains of our evaluation.
Yes. Is that the chart with the Daniels?
Yeah, Daniels.
Exactly. Okay,
Some districts have actually used this in place of professional development.
Yeah.
Because it's so closely aligned to industry stuff.
yeah,
And they just say, well, you don't have to do it twice.
Right.
You're doing it through National Board, that's good enough.
This is just basically some dates that you would need to know. If you decide that you are going to do this, then you would need to be registered by January of this next coming year. And they'll talk to you about registering at East Stroudsburg if you decide to do the graduate credits that way. But this is a separate, the National Board, you have to actually register there, and then they give you a number, and then your number is who you are. So all your documentation, all your writing goes in the number, not a name on it. All your written parts, the component 2, 3, and 4, they're all evaluated by teachers who are the same certification as you. Okay, so they gather teachers from, they might be anywhere in the United States, and they're actually rating your work, and they're grading your work, or assessing your work on a rubric. Okay.
All right, this is how it works if you register for ESU credits. Each of the 4 components, it represents a course, so to speak. And so you register for those 3 credits and you get reimbursed here. You're also part of the PEP program, right?
Yeah.
Delaware Valley is. So you don't even see a bill because you're automatically billed through the district for tuition. So it's a good deal that way. So you register for the 3 credits. You have to pay the $75 registration fee. But here's the catch. It's still, all that scoring takes a lot of money. And so what each component costs $475 that you have to pay the National Board to have your component scored. But if you register for the ESU credit, we'll take some of that tuition money, a significant amount of tuition money, $375 of that, and we'll pay it. So not only are you getting 3 credits, you're getting $375 knocked off the cost of your application to National Board. So your final cost, instead of being $2,000 over 4 years, it's going to be about $500, and we'll cover the rest. And you get those 12 credits. It's like a no-brainer, especially if you haven't reached the top of the scale yet. You get 12 credits. You're getting most of the National Board application fee knocked off, and you're getting really practical professional development. And that's how it works at ECU. We want to add anything, Kevin? Kevin is at our graduate office.
Hi, yeah, I'm Kevin, I work in the graduate office, we handle like the registration, part of it. So typically what we do, and the only other piece that's not included in that is that, in addition to the tuition, which again, we'll bill the district at the end of the semester, and then they'll send payment, not to ESU, it's a little odd, but it's actually sent to the IU, because we partnered with CIU 20, which is our regional IU, because it allows us to have more flexibility with regards to our facilitators and their payments, and as well as the combination of both people enrolled for ESU credit and then people enrolled for CPE credit, which is another option. So there are some districts where the graduate credit's not covered, and so they choose to enroll for CPE credits. They still complete everything together. It's just the CPE cost, I think, is $600 per component. But depending on the agreement, it almost costs more to pay for that. So we bill the district for the tuition, and then there is a portion of related fees which you are responsible for paying. So that is typically $226 per 3-credit course, or so for each component. And so that would be sort of above and beyond the 100 that you're paying to the national board for each component, and then your $75 fee that you pay annually. Now, for the people that are in, like, if you're like a non-resident student, or for teachers, let's say Fort Jervis, or anyone else that might participate, because of the nature of the program, the fact that it is, in a sense, approved for on-time delivery, the billing office, we're looking to actually lower the non-resident tuition rate to about $510. Sorry about that. Lowering the tuition rate from $750 for non-residents to $510 because it's considered sort of an online program. And then the fees would remain the same at $226. And so what happens is that at the end of the semester, we, like I said, we'll send the transcripts to the department. We confirm with all the participants, just making sure that they're continuing, making sure nothing has happened. There are promotions that take place, and family and other obligations, and so people might not continue. So we do verify that. We ask for a new PED program approval form, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Delaware Valley has a max amount that they're eligible for, but I would think.
We have $3,900 a year per contract that teachers can apply towards every year.
Okay, and so you do 1 credit or 1 class fall and spring of the 2 years, and so that would be, that would in a sense now be $3,000 per year. So that you should be fine unless there were other things that you were doing. And then what we do is, again, you would just send that payment of $226, again, that's per course every semester, and then you send that to the IU. And so typically you would either hear from myself and Stephanie Agentis, who's sort of my counterpart at the IU, about the registration piece, making sure that your Act 48 credit hours are submitted, which you submit, and then we verify that information.
And taking it as a graduate course is better because with CPE, graduate courses you'll bump up on the pay scale every 6 credits you get, as opposed to the CPE.
Yeah, it's nice.
That was a lot. Do you have any questions? We haven't done any better explaining.
So, and then, so those 12 credits, and again, it may not be applicable to anyone in this room, but those 12 credits are actually making up 12 of the 15 credits of the advanced pedagogy concentration. So if at any point, be it while you're completing the program or even afterwards, you can decide a few years down the line that you want to use those credits and apply them towards a master's degree at ESU, you can do so by doing that advanced pedagogy concentration, and then the core curriculum through ESU.
And they do have the permission for out-of-state districts to sign on to that program, which would mean that you would pay in-state tuition minus 10% rather than out-of-state tuition. So that's significant. Any
So the
questions?
sheet that I gave you sort of kind of outlines your cost per component, and it also outlines the sort of ESU and CPE costs for enrollment and registration. And again, because we treat it, because while the class is not always necessarily seen as a official kind of course. You know, you're working on this sort of organic process with facilitators. From a records and registration perspective at the university, to everyone else, it appears like it's another graduate level course. So there is typically a time frame, and we try to be flexible with the program because we understand it, and so we try to explain it to the billing department, is to make sure that, you know, that someone in mid-November just says, oh, I'm not going to continue, I'm sort of dropping the class. Well, that still falls from a course registration enrollment perspective, that still falls within that sort of withdrawal period. And so that could mean, you know, if you withdraw from the course, that there are sort of financial implications that may or may not be covered by a sort of district. So again, while it's not, may not seem like an official class, like every week, 4 o'clock type of thing, you know, you do have to sort of make a decision relatively early about whether or not this is something you would be continuing. It doesn't happen. I mean, it's a pretty low attrition program, but you do want to make sure that you are committed and that you do understand of that, you know, like I said, that registration piece of credit.
Time commitment, what does this entail?
The way we've run the cohorts down below you is that we would normally meet every other week, like whatever day of the week you choose to meet, every other week for about 2 hours. Okay. During the class, or during the meeting or whatever you want to call it, basically what we would be doing is initially starting out just kind of walking them through the whole process, talking about the standards, talking about the 5 core propositions, to kind of get your head kind of wrapped around what this is all about. And then from that point on, once you start in on one of the components, and we usually, even though it says you're doing component 1 now, it's the written test. You can't take the test in the spring. So we jump right in on component 2 and the differentiation. So then we walk you through and show you how to find all the questions in the writing, and the writing guides you. There's like a contextual piece you write about who's in your class. And then there's the written part of it, and there are bullets that take you through it. So they're kind of guiding all of your writing, okay? So we kind of help you with that. And like normally, once everybody starts writing, you bring your writing into class, make a couple extra copies, everybody shares it, everybody looks at it and says, I'm not sure I quite understand what you're saying here. Just help each other out.
It's almost like a seminar.
Yeah.
And then you start watching videotapes of each other.
Yeah.
Which is a big barrier.
Yeah.
So then do you select, so say I have like 4 different English classes, I would select one of them to focus
Yes.
on for that
Yes.
1 year?
Yes. Yeah, or even just
Then the
that one
extra I would-
component.
Oh, okay,
Even for that one component.
okay.
You might think, you know, like I'm looking at differentiation and I have a class that has, you know, learning support children as well as gifted children as well as whatever. That might be a great class to choose because you have a lot of range.
Mhm.
You know, and then when it comes to another class, you might choose another, maybe you teach, I'm not sure if you teach, but maybe there's another focus that you want to choose to videotape. It might be a different class, it could be a certain way that the class set up that's, you know, unique or whatever. So it doesn't have to be the same class.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
This would be for Gina, but I know that we are allowed to take photos of classroom instruction, but I don't think that we are allowed to do video.
We'd have to get permission, so as long as you have parental permission.
No, they
Okay.
have this well oil.
Yeah.
I don't
There is
know how
a
they
form
do
in
it.
there that
Okay.
you would
No.
send out.
To the
But I mean, when you look
parents.
at Atlas is a database, you know, these are 15-minute segments, best teachers teaching. They have 5,000 of these online that we subscribe to, that anybody can look at. Well, you have to subscribe to the service. But these are like the best teachers in the United States. And you can watch 15 minutes of them, and you can read their 10-page analysis as well. So they've taken care of all the liability issues and the privacy issues with respect to that.
Okay.
They really have it down. And there's, they'll have standard permission slips that they have to sign.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they have
That's
like,
what I wanted.
they have permission slips in like 20 languages. You
Okay,
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you would just have to maybe put your name on it and say, or even attach something. I always attach something to the parents saying, hey, I'm working on this. Could you help me out? I need to videotape the class. May I videotape your child?
and you know, I know like all the parents, and
Yeah.
they're all really,
Yeah.
you know.
And you know what? I've gone in and helped videotape classes where certain children were not given permission, and the teacher would just kind of move them.
Yeah.
And like, just keep the video in front of them,
Yeah.
you know, so everything's doable. Yeah, exactly, back
Or add
then.
something to our handbook to address that. If
Yes.
parents didn't want their children to participate, then they could opt out.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you find out I know you talked to Ryan about his certification because he's a career tech. I'm family consumer science.
They have it.
Oh, yeah, they have like 25 different certificate areas. And we did some
And they
like
might,
this
do
in
they
high
have career
school.
tech?
That was, did we do career tech?
Do they have one?
I don't know, but they do.
I bet they do too. I think we
Yeah.
did have one up actually in Western Wayne once. It was an automotive tech class, actually. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
And we had a teacher at Easton High School who did.
But I do
was-
both. My cert is family consumer science,
Right.
but they have me in career tech.
Mhm.
But they have family, so we had a certificate.
I'd rather
in
family consumer science than
Yeah.
career tech.
Yeah.
They have that in Cal.
No, because that's my degree. That's what I actually, it's just, I'm in the career tech because that's where we teach it. That's where we teach it, but not everybody does what we do
But I
here.
haven't caught on. No, Kevin doesn't want to hear this, but if you got a group going, you find a facilitator in the area, could they probably start with component 3 and 4 in January? Or do you think
Are you talking to me or Kevin?
Lord,
Oh,
I don't want him to hear that.
they could start with any component as long as ESU allows them.
I mean,
I'm not yes.
Did I read the dates right? This is to start January 28th.
No, this is to start now.
Now.
So you have to apply to the national board by January 31st or whatever.
But
Of
That's the
17.
cutoff. Did I have the wrong date? Of 28.
I think it's
Yeah, sorry,
Of 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
This
But
is
they're talking about a fall semester and a spring semester
of this year, right now.
of this year. So like component 1, component 2. And then component 3, component 4 next year.
Yeah.
You could do all 4, right? East Stroudsburg would let you do it with your district.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't reimburse you enough.
And there's no leap
Credit
year.
wise.
Yeah, I take
for
2
the-
classes a year.
no,
Yeah,
we-
2 a year, but 4 a year?
Kevin, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh, no.
we've
And I
started
would
these-
recommend you do 4
No, I don't
years.
want
No
to do 4
reason.
a year.
Yeah, you don't need to.
We've started these at all different points.
Yeah,
I mean, well,
Yeah.
really what it is,
Yeah.
it comes down from an ESU perspective, right? It really just comes down to our current schedule. So for right now, we have a group of people that are enrolling in course 1, component 1, that are starting. And then there's another group, like Lori's group from last night, they're actually starting course 3. So sequentially, we should have kind of 1, 3 in the fall, 2, 4 in the spring, and so on. However, I mean, other than that, if someone wants to like accelerate through, if it's not an official course on the fall schedule or the spring schedule, then what the department has to do is really sort of create it as sort of an individualized instruction independent study. Just because it's not a course on that actual term that's built into it with a cap of, 40 people or something.
Flexibility.
But we don't expect you to make a decision about this like tonight, and it takes a while. So you might not start, actually, if you decide to do this in Delaware Valley or Port Jervis, until a month from now. You may not want to hear that, but we work with that. Didn't Cumberland Valley start like?
They started late.
So are
I'm the
there,
registration Nazi because sort of, state appropriations and the enrollment freeze is Tuesday. And so we backtracked because we used to have people starting like in December. And then we were registering people and the registrar would be like, how are people starting in December? Well, you don't understand. It's a process. And so we're,
What?
When would you guys love to do it?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would we be here then, since we're here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
It's
have
easier.
to find a facilitator. But I have a big army of facilitators. So, but if you're interested in it, I think I'll work through Gina. You make sure that she knows that you're interested. And if we have enough interested here, then we'll figure out a way to do it.
How many do we
Is
need?
Ashley Keen certified?
No, she's one of my doctors.
I know, she's one of your doctors, so I thought maybe she could be a facilitator.
No, she
No.
can facilitate. She's never gone through the process.
Yeah, I didn't know, yeah.
You have to go through the process to be able to facilitate. You'll find that, I find that really valuable.
How many do we need to?
This is enough.
Oh, there's enough.
And I heard every more teachers that
That are
voice an
interested.
interest, I have to give them the information.
And would another district, you're from Port Jervis, would they come here, like, would your group come here, or they would do their
Well,
own?
we have a great group, actually. It's been really powerful. I got a chance to see them. It was the Allentown group, and then it was East Penn, which is on the other end of the spectrum financially. But they met it as a group for 3 years. We're in the third year now. And not that board services like,
Yeah,
You know?
they're separated.
Yeah, why not bring it together rather than they're separate?
Yeah,
Yeah, we wouldn't be opposed to having them work together would be great.
Yeah, I think that they just really know that.
You know, this is like our first exposure and we'll have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Long
Is this, national board, is it like a level 1, level 2 cert, or once you got it, you got it?
You got it, but you have to renew it after 5 years.
After
How-
five
And you
years,
just
how do you
pay
do
to
that?
get renewed, correct?
It's not hard to get to do.
Okay,
yeah.
The process is
Renewal
far less
goes pretty
rigorous.
easily.
okay.
Yeah.
But there's work,
There's
there's
a
a component.
Yeah, there's a component that you're gonna submit, but it's based on where you've gone after this.
Mhm.
In other words, once you've been certified, okay, they wanna know, what have you done since
5
then?
To keep it active.
Keep it active,
Yeah,
But we still have to keep our PA cert active.
yes,
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
it's separate.
Yeah, okay.
Other questions?
And from a sort of, when you mentioned in terms of the number of people, so from our perspective, because, so we have probably 8 or 9 sites happening. So from Pittsburgh area, where she does, from Rosie, I've never met her, but we speak on the phone, right?
Incredible.
It's incredible, right? So they have a group of about 4 different schools that she works with through like Lancaster, Cumberland Valley, and then our area and maybe up here. So from ESU sort of sees it all as one class. So everyone's sort of in this sort of 40-student class with one instructor, but then they're all sort of broken up into different facilitators in different areas. So that's why it could be 4, or it could be 2, whatever the group decides, you know, what kind of works for them and what works for the facilitator, they're able to kind of go with. It's not like you need to attend per because like a traditional, you know, graduate course when you have these enrollments or target, it's all just seen as one collective course group.
Now, have you looked at the website at all to kind of get an idea of what the,
Not at all.
okay.
Yeah, go to the website, and they have some good promotional materials as well. Give you an idea, they have testimonials from teachers who've gone through the process. I don't think I've ever had one who did not say that it was the best thing they've ever done in professional development. Have you?
Yeah, no.
And we've seen a lot.
Yeah.
I know they have. I remember watching the automotive video
Okay.
in Western Wayne, so you're okay.
I just wondered, you know, because I'm my last course for my vocational too, so I don't know if, you know.
Now, if you choose to enroll, so this would be the, this is just the enrollment sheets. We don't need a transcript, this is general values for the students. But,
But if we've already done these, we've already done this.
so if you are currently in, like, if you
Yeah,
recently
we're
took a
at,
course or
you
something.
probably
You know us.
I'm the one
Okay.
who's been blown with
That's
these.
Allison.
Oh, you're Allison Newman.
I'm
Yes,
so
yes.
I just hung up.
And you're chill.
Yeah,
So
I
you
just
feel-
blew my dick.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's, he's gonna get back to me, he kind of came to the little thing, he's gonna look to see if
That kind of
they
walks
could.
in.
It might be a conversation, it might be a conversation, yeah, that you would need to.
We don't need to do this, we always do this.
Yeah, that
I'm
I
wondering
If I knew your
how-
name, you probably would have looked at it.
I'm wondering now that
Pick
you
up
said
in
this,
where-
Withdraw.
just go right into that and like start it.
I just have 3 small children too.
Yeah,
I
at
gotta-
which point you need
I know.
switch, so like if you were to switch.
Like right now, like
That's
if
why
we
when
want
I
to, like
do
right
it
now.
by skip
right
it.
now.
When we withdraw
I-
some class, we
in
just
my
signed up for.
Other template class that I had, one of the things was to research national.
And
boards.
start,
So I
yes.
got on the
You know,
website.
actually,
videos,
this
how to
is
break
your-
everything in. That's why I figured, oh, that's something I don't look at, so come here to
That's
see
what
what
we
it's about, and see how,
Right.
And then you here's
more of the workings of it, right?
Yes,
Right.
and on that state,
They really work on balance.
Yes.
that's,
Yeah,
that's on that state.
Yeah.
So I'm running out of
But our
money.
conversation went well. We were gonna
I
get.
mean, and sadly, not that you can associate so much in the email, right? But I mean, from our perspective, so Bill and I are sort of on that, we're like, they just don't get sort of the graduate population beyond like the ones that are full. They're all the time. And so while we talk about fees, constantly, you know, it's just something that's back and forth because they sort
Okay.
of listen to sort of programs. I'm like, well, in the summer, it's just, of course, in the summer, you take an online course, you do online.
Right.
Also in the fall, because they treat the summer like, with an undergraduate perspective of summer, it's like, Summers.